the news this afternoon, warring court groups in Andoni River State sheath swords. OCJ Okocha calls for sanctioning of judges over conflicting court orders. Federal government considers action against those refusing COVID-19 vaccines. On the foreign scene, UK to give Afghans who worked for them permanent residency. I am Ifiemi Andrew. Warring court groups in Andoni local government of Rivers State have resolved to end restiveness and embrace peace offered by the Andoni traditional rulers. Some of the former cultists took the decision at a 3-day reorientation campaign for restive youths in the area. The program was organized by the Andoni Peace and Reconciliation Committee.
My name is Vincent Lazarus. Me and my members, we have accepted peace for real. Just as many of us, we are family men and we don't have nothing doing. We just want government to give us to create job opportunity for us so that we can't look into the bad ways anymore.
My name is Obidaya Owen, aka Ogolos. We do need the peace because there's no need for violence. We also need the chiefs and the community leaders, also our political brothers, to find a way to assist us to make every youth in Andoni be useful. And we are also calling on other part of our brothers who are not here to find a way to accept this peace move for the betterment of Andoni.
My name is Ogunya Ogolo Peter, alias Indomitable. I'm maybe number 4 man for Greenland for Andoni from Asrama. Now, I don't see say there is no reason for us to continue to the fight because already what we dey fight for, some of us don't die.
Representing the Andoni Local Government Council Chairman, Secretary Demiari Franklin assured the repentant cultists that the council is already working out areas of human capital development and empowerment programs.
It has been our greatest desire. As soon as we came on board, we started this gospel of peace. And today, I think our dreams have been fulfilled, that our youth are now doing the part of peace. Already, we are on what I call a search path. We intend to liaise with the companies and get as many that we possibly get them engaged. We have set up a committee to be able to identify all companies operating in Andoni. One of the terms of reference is for them to identify employment opportunities for the youth.
Also, the chairman of Andoni Peace and Reconciliation Committee, King Moses Oguile, spoke on the essence of the 3 days of reorientation.
Basically, it's for mind re-engineering, confidence building, peace education, and peace building among them. So that as they step out from here, they go home refreshed to have a new lease of life, a new concept about life as against what they've been involved in. I feel very happy for the fact that they honored the invitation and come out from the bushes where they were to this campaign program. That is an impressive move or approach by them, an indication that they are prepared for the peace. I would hand on the people to err is human, to forgive is divine. God should please pardon them, forgive them, and take care of them by directing them properly again.
A former president of the Nigeria Bar Association, NBA, OCJ Okocha, has described as worrisome the violation of territorial jurisdiction by some judges in the trial of cases. OCJ, who is also the senior advocate of Nigeria, told correspondent Mega Otuka that each court has a territorial jurisdiction upon which it can entertain a case. He called for the sanctioning of judges that are involved in issuing conflicting judgments.
I think it is this same lawyer who went to Ondo State during the dispute between PDP and APC, an internal crisis between PDP, Modu Sheriff as chairman on one side and others on the other side, seeking all kinds of order. It is very worrisome, and I think that this calls for a thorough investigation, and those justices who have been found to have abused their power of granting ex parte injunctions, interim injunctions, should be sanctioned.
He said the recent conflicting judgment by courts of equal jurisdiction on the suspension of former PDP National Chairman Prince Uche Secondus is condemnable.
For so long, we have tried to make a point that courts of coordinate jurisdiction should not give conflicting rulings or judgments. Each court has jurisdiction within a territorial area. And this is another worrisome thing, that a court in Rivers State has made an order. Another court somewhere up in Kebbi State made another conflicting order. Another court in another state, Cross River, made another order. This is very worrisome, that courts of coordinate jurisdiction, namely the High Court, after one of them has at first instance made a first order, should now begin to issue conflicting orders.
Innocent Ekwe, lawyer in Port Harcourt, is hopeful that the Chief Justice of Nigeria's summon of the Chief Judges of Rivers, Kebbi, Cross River, Anambra, Jigawa, and Imo State will translate to disciplinary action against some judges and the manner in which they grant ex parte injunctions. The lawyer, while speaking on reasons the Chief Judges of the 6 states were summoned, told correspondent Sebiruwari that he is displeased at the way courts grant interim injunctions against the embattled national chairman of PDP, Prince Uche Secondus.
Indeed, the nature, content of the ex parte orders, in my view, and with due respect, we are very, very overreaching as on ex parte. So I support the move of the CJN and the National Judicial Council in order to restore sanity, order, discipline, and compliance with the ethics and the procedure that is known to all of us, both members of the bench and the bar.
Dr. Innocent Ekwe also faulted the restraining order issued by the Rivers and Cross Rivers courts in matter of the PDP crisis.
River State High Court. I've also read the one from Kebbi. I've also read the one from Cross River State. The one from River State and the one from Cross River State. With due respect and in my view, we are very overreaching because it tends to determine substantive issues that ought not to be determined until the substantive case has been heard. It attempted to reach decision and make pronouncements on matters that can only be decided after the substantive case has been heard. And therefore, it was very overreaching and ought not to have been so.
Ondo State Governor Rotimi Akeredolu has signed the anti-open grazing bill into law. The governor signed the bill on Tuesday after it was earlier passed by State House of Assembly. According to the governor, the signing of the bill is in line with the resolution of the Southern Governors Forum's meeting in Lagos, where September 1 was set as the deadline for governors in southern Nigeria to sign the anti-open grazing bill. Away from that, a professor of politics and governance from the Ignatius Ajuri University, Kenneth Nweke, says the Jubilee Fellows program initiated by the federal government is commendable. Professor Nweke says if the program is properly implemented, it will tackle unemployment.
If this program is adequately funded, implemented, as being presented, this will go a long way in bridging the gap, that we find among young Nigerians today, especially in the labor market. This would ordinarily enhance the employability of young Nigerians into very highly placed organizations, whether private or public. This program will go a long way in addressing the unemployment that we have in this country and will contribute in stimulating Nigeria's economy.
He also urged Nigerians not to look at the program as political or a move by the government to secure votes of the youth for 2023.
I do not see this program as one that is designed, to lure Nigerian youth, because of 2023 general elections coming. I do not see any political gimmick, given this development, because right from onset, the present administration, is clearly designed or cut out, to address the ailing economy in Nigeria.
Still ahead, federal government considers action against those refusing COVID-19 vaccines. Stay tuned.
This is the news on 92.3 Nigeria Info.
The National Primary Healthcare Development Agency, NPHCDA, says government can apply the basic rule of law against people who are not vaccinated as their action puts others in danger. Executive Director, NPHCDA, Dr. Faisal Shuaib, said this at a media briefing on COVID-19 Phase 2 vaccination rollout exercise on Tuesday in Abuja. He said the exercise has started in 35 states, including the FCT. Reacting to this, a lawyer in Port Harcourt, G.O. Chukwu, says it is unconstitutional to compel citizens to take vaccines.
The Constitution, Section 35 specifically, guarantees everybody the right to private and public life. Now, for an organization or any agency coming to say that everybody must take the vaccine, it infringe on the people's rights. I don't know the basic rule. I've just told you that any other law that comes up that infringes or contradicts any provision of the Constitution will be considered null and void. So I don't know about the law they are talking about. The least the government can do is to, I think, restrain the people, anybody that has not taken the vaccine from entering public places. And how can that be achieved? You telling somebody not to access public places because they refuse to take the vaccine. They have right to their private and public life.
A medical doctor also said it is against the laws of medicine to administer any form of treatment on a conscious patient against their will.
As a medical personnel, I'm not aware that there's any law that allows us to forcefully treat or administer medication to people who have autonomy. There's something called informed consent in medical law, and informed consent and autonomy are the guidelines of medical practice. The patient must have a choice, and the patient must be able to choose. And once you take that away, you are practicing paternalism. That means you're taking decisions for the patient, and it's an abuse of human rights.
She advised the government to study the vaccines before making it compulsory.
I don't think we should give in to panic, because once you start throwing away human rights in the name of facing a pandemic, what next? If you can actually appeal to people and get them to do what you want them to do, then why do you have to force them? Then on the other side, we all are aware that we are still testing these vaccines. We're still trying to find out how many doses they will require, how effective the protection is. If the vaccines will even be protective against the Delta variant is still in question. So when you are not even sure of the safety, efficacy, and the long-term effects of what you are doing, if you come today and make it compulsory, and tomorrow we find out that there are issues as a result of this action, who do we sue? Who will be held accountable?
Away from that, the first phase of the renovation of the Port Harcourt Zoological Gardens at Transamadi has been completed. The River State government began renovating the zoo facility in November last year. A senior official at the zoo told our correspondent that the first phase, which has been completed and awaiting inspection, has facilities like staff quarters, general conveniences, a security house, and a museum. Some parts of the perimeter fence of the zoo, its front gate, has already been remodeled. The second phase of the renovation will include the construction of enclosures, cages, and the restocking of animals. Recall that the State Executive Council approved 472 million naira for the rehabilitation of the Port Harcourt Zoological Garden. In business, the CBN has directed all commercial banks to publish names of customers who engage in fraudulent practices to obtain foreign exchange. In a circular issued, the Apex Bank said the new directive is given to curb the unwholesome conduct of some customers who are trying to evade its new Forex policy. In entertainment, American superstar rapper DaBaby has done a remake of Wizkid's hit song Essence. DaBaby shot an official video for the 2 minutes freestyle, which he posted on his YouTube channel. The video, which was posted a few hours ago, has so far garnered over 620,000 views with about 7,500 comments. Fondly called Big Wiz, the singer released the original version of the song Essence, which is on his Made in Lagos album in 2020. The original version features singer Thames. In sports, Super Eagles of Nigeria were involved in a drama at the Eco Hotel gym where they had lodged ahead of their 2022 FIFA World Cup qualifiers match on Friday. Contrary to reports that the players were kicked out of the gym, sources have confirmed that the argument was between assistant coach Joseph Yobo and staff of the hotel who came into the gym where the players were training, despite COVID-19 protocols.
And now, we'll bring you news from around the world.
The UK Home Office has announced that Afghans who worked for the British military and UK government will be able to move to the UK permanently. Those eligible will be given indefinite leave to remain rather than the 5 years residency previously offered. The UK evacuated more than 8,000 people eligible for the Afghan relocations and assistance policy from 13th of August. On the news this afternoon, you heard that warring court groups in Andoni River State have sheathed their swords. OCJ Okocha has called for the sanctioning of judges over conflicting court orders. The federal government is considering actions against those refusing COVID-19 vaccines. On the foreign scene, you heard that the UK is set to give Afghans who worked for them permanent residency. The news was edited by Choma Ezewan. For contact our newsroom on 0818-900-0017. For more stories, visit our website at www.nigeriainfo.fm. partly sunny weather expected in Port Harcourt this afternoon. My name is Ifiemi. Thank you for your time.
Do you want to know more about Nigeria?